Oh yeah, man, we back at some more of these short horror stories,
I'm
man.
excited.
Y'all been digging this, man. Y'all like this short horror story stuff. She love it.
They're fun. They're kind of creepy, and whether they're
Yeah.
real or not, or based off anything real or not, but they're
Yeah.
still, I don't know, they're fun.
Yeah, man, we plan on doing some live streams or some like scary short like spooky stuff, man. But before we dive into it, look, man, subscribe to the vlog channel. The link is in the description down below.
And while you're down there, check out our Patreon where we do movie reactions.
All right.
I don't know where to begin. One night I was working part-time at a convenience store. There was a small warehouse inside where you could place orders and watch the CCTVs.
Just
It
chilling
was
at
so
work.
quiet that day.
That'd be
that
boring
I just
doing
went
that.
inside and spent time just watching CCTVs.
I just be on my phone like,
As you
Right.
see, our convenience store makes a jingling sound whenever someone opens the door.
I think he's saying it was nobody
then
in there, so we just sat in the back for
I
a
saw a
minute.
boy
Yeah.
on a CCTV.
Oh.
How's it possible? I didn't even hear the bell ringing.
damn, yeah.
In a panic, I slowly looked out,
He ain't gonna
but
be there.
I couldn't see the boy outside the window. At first, it seemed like he was walking around in front of the snack bar, but he gradually came toward the warehouse where I was sitting.
Oh,
Oh.
What the? I was terrified. What the heck is that? Then suddenly a man came inside, but I was already too scared to dare to go out. When he saw that there was no staff inside, he turned around and tried to go out again.
he must be looking
But
for
at
the boy.
that moment, I almost fainted when I saw his back. Riding on his back, the boy was staring at me.
Look at his
I was
smile.
frozen on the spot. And after a moment, suddenly I heard a big car and tires squealing. He was hit by a car and died right away.
Who, the boy or the
No, the
adult?
man.
I still don't know what I saw that day.
Look at his face.
Dang.
Boy, what is wrong with this kid? He look possessed.
So it was like a demon that was coming to grab somebody. Or...
Yeah.
Let me tell you about my grandmother. Well, she doesn't have one finger on her hand. When my grandmother was pregnant with my uncle and aunt, she got her finger stuck in the cultivator's motor.
Damn.
And it got cut off.
What was she doing?
Also, there were a lot of bad
Accidents
things that
happen.
happened that year.
Yeah, but what?
And she had a lot of people who died or were sick around her. My great-grandmother took my grandmother to a shaman's house at the time after finishing her finger treatment. Well, just as expected, as soon as they visited her, she told her about her bad luck and some other stuff. My grandmother was about to go back home because she thought it was literal nonsense. All of a
I don't
sudden,
believe in that crap.
the shaman stood up and yelled, "Where's your finger?" Her eyes turned white. "Oh, no. Why did you attach your finger on in that place?" My great-grandmother was surprised at the shaman shouting and asked the meaning. And then she answered like this: "That woman's fingers went in her stomach."
What?
Less than a month after leaving the shaman's house, my uncle and aunt were born. And when my grandmother saw her babies,
An extra finger.
she was horrified. Both of them were born with polydactylism, so they both had 6 toes each on one side.
Damn.
Well, I still don't believe
Just
in
gave him
ghosts
extra
or
toe?
shaman
That is
stuff,
weird,
but
though.
that story really gave me the creeps.
Like the shaman knew, like somehow knew, like she lost her finger and it got put onto the babies.
Yeah. Damn, that's
This
crazy.
weird.
Horrible incident happened when I was 15 years old.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I had a doctor's appointment to check up on my arm, as I had sprained it a few weeks before. I had to remove my bandages that day, so I was sitting in the waiting room waiting for my turn to see the doctor. Then I suddenly noticed a very tall guy in front of me. Maybe he was about 6'2". He had black hair and was a neat type with a clean-shaven face. And he was wearing a long
snaps.
black trench coat and baggy black tracksuit bottoms.
His trench coat ain't black.
It was obvious that he looked a bit odd,
Good point.
but I decided to
Did he say
ignore
long
him,
black
as I was
trench
often
Yeah.
easily paranoid to strangers. However, a strong smell instantly invaded my sense of smell when he just sat next to me. He smelled like he had something rotten hiding inside of his coat.
Ew.
Yeah.
It was so horrible to endure.
A
it.
mess. I can't handle this.
Eventually
This
made me
disgusting
feel
stink.
sick to my stomach. I instantly got up, rushed to the toilet, and then I ended up throwing up.
What was that bad? Oh man.
Yeah.
After cleaning myself up, I went back to the waiting room, and luckily
gone,
that
probably.
man was gone. My doctor was waiting for me at that time, so I went to her office, and she got my bandages removed. I told her about the man that I saw just before, and she said she'd seen him before too.
What?
She thought there was something off about him, but she eventually didn't say anything. Of course, I couldn't blame her, so I just greeted after that and left the hospital. As I was coming out from the entrance and about to walk toward my home, I suddenly heard some heavy breathing in an alleyway next to the hospital.
Okay, don't go there though.
At first,
Yeah,
I
bruh.
couldn't see clearly who it was because of the shadow, but soon after, I realized that he was the same man that I had seen in the waiting room. He didn't leave.
Damn, this dude is
What
crazy,
should I
y'all.
do?
He
I
looks
was
creepy as
terrified.
heck.
Get out of Dodge. That's what you need to
There was
do.
something
Alright,
strange
just
about his
leave.
motion, though.
Just leave.
I looked
don't
more
wanna
closely,
say.
and I could make out him biting on a severed arm. And that's when I realized that it was the source of the stench I smelled in
Ew.
the waiting room. I almost screamed,
So this dude was a
but
cannibal.
held my breath as much as I could, and then ran down the road to call the police immediately. As soon as they arrived, in about 5 to 6 minutes, they knocked him down on the ground to arrest him.
Gross.
I figured out later that he was finally indicted on charges of kidnap and murder of people.
Damn.
And because of that incident, I didn't go to the hospital and stayed at my home for a while. I wonder, what if I had screamed when I was there and he found me?
Probably
Oh,
took
so
you
he
out.
didn't even
Been the
see
next
him.
victim that he was chewing on?
Probably could have.
I think
Probably
it was a
could
good
have.
decision that I made at the time, and I'm just glad that I'm still alive.
Gross.
To hit?
His arm. Like if he had taken a bite, like as if like his arm was being eaten.
Yeah.
This
Man.
incident occurred when I just turned 12. It was a big day for me, since we were going to throw my birthday party. Everyone in my house was busy decorating inside.
Having a
A lot of my
party.
friends and all my family members were supposed to come, so I was pretty excited at that moment. Later on, almost everyone had arrived, and I was waiting for two girls named Saya and Alania. They were twin sisters whom I
They
just
didn't
met a
look
few
very
days
nice.
ago. We weren't
Look at
actually
the
that
way
close
their
to each
eyes
other,
are.
but I thought they were nice and fun to hang out with. So I invited them the day I met them on the street, and they laughed and said that they would love to come. In fact, I didn't really think about them and forgot about those twin sisters soon, since I was enjoying the gifts I got. A few hours went by. I heard a loud knock on the door suddenly, and when I opened the door, the twin sisters, Saya and Alania, were standing there and smiling. "Come on in,"
They don't look
I
like
greeted
smiling.
them and tried to invite them inside. However, one of the girls said, "We weren't expecting this many guests." At first, what she told me seemed pretty
think it
odd,
was
but
gonna be a
I
party?
didn't think much
Yeah.
of it because they were too shy and didn't like being around too many people. So I introduced them to everyone in the house. Everything was fine until that moment. Not long after, they came closer to me saying that they have my present. It was the cake they made. It looked like a normal cake, but smelled
Don't eat
really
that cake.
bad.
It
Don't
smelled
eat it.
It
bad.
looked like it was rotting for a long time.
Ew.
No doubt, I felt disgusted.
Do
But
not
soon,
eat that
I
cake.
decided not
Trash
to
it.
judge by its looks. So I eventually tried one.
And she did it.
To my surprise,
She crazy,
it
y'all.
tasted really good.
Oh, it tasted
I
good. Okay.
proceeded to eat more and
Her
more.
stomach finna be
no.
toe up.
My eyes
She finna be
suddenly
toe up.
started to go blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
The
probably
last
drugged
thing I
it.
remembered
Ate a
were the
stanky cake.
twins' big creepy grin, and that I was dragged by them somewhere.
Look at it.
Then I passed out. I don't know how much time went by, but when I woke up again, I was in a hospital. I could feel my whole body hurting, and my parents almost cried when they saw me wake up. I was confused and asked the nurse
happened?
standing next to me
I know.
what had happened. Then she told me that a lot of guests noticed that I was gone at certain points on that day. They were looking for me, and they eventually found me unconscious and beaten up terribly in our shed. My parents were shocked and immediately called the ambulance and the police. They asked everyone all kinds of questions, but then one of my friends noticed the twin girls were gone too. Eventually, they were found in my attic, hiding behind some big boxes. It was said that they were covered in blood and were smiling widely at the police.
Weird.
It turned out that the girls put the heart and the guts of a dead sheep,
Oh, and you thought that was
even
good too.
thin, small needles in the cake.
Needles?
And they also put lots of candies, chocolates, and some sweet things, so that's why I couldn't notice anything weird.
How?
It is said that the girls had escaped from juvenile a few days ago, exactly on the day I first met them. Fortunately, I didn't swallow any of the
I
needles.
was gonna say,
Yeah.
she didn't
But
get to
I
that.
had to suffer from food poisoning badly for a while.
Yeah.
The doc told me I was very lucky to survive. To this day, I still wonder what would have happened to me that day if my family and friends hadn't found me in time.
Right? Or noticed she was missing and looking for her.
You would have been toe up. You was pretty much toe up, man, eating that like
I
poison
think she
cake.
means like she may have not survived.
Girl.
Kind of like sheep guts and.
Man, girl. She was acting for
That's
man.
when you go like maybe you take a small bite and then you go thank you so much and you like take it into the kitchen.
No.
But I feel like those twins were not gonna like
Nah.
not let her
Nah.
get away with not eating it. Like that was their whole intent.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, man, but it was definitely spooky, man. Some crazy stuff, man. But we're going to end this video. Don't forget to subscribe.
And thumbs it up.
Turn on notifications. It's your memory B.
And Nicole.
I want to catch you on the next episode. Peace and love.